Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and drop a like. We're almost at 1K subscribers in less than 2 months, which is incredible. Thanks for all the support. Round 11 played out pretty much as we expected, and we managed to tip 6 out of 8. Another week of being let down as a Warriors fan, no surprises there. And the Raiders made it 3 in a row against an abysmal Rabbitohs side in Dubbo. Round 12 kicks off with the battered and bruised Melbourne Storm trying to avoid losing 3 games straight for the first time since 2015, as they come up against the Manly Sea Eagles at home. Manly have won 2 of their past 3 games in Melbourne, however Craig Bellamy's men go into this one having won 5 on the trot. The Storm got put to the sword by the Cowboys in Townsville last week and are really struggling with injuries. Jerome Hughes and Nelson Asofa-Solomona should be back in action this week, which should give the Storm a big boost. And while Manly are also coming off back-to-back losses, I thought they were the better side against the Eels. Tommy Turbo is gone for the season after dislocating his shoulder, which means Des Hasler will need to reshuffle the back line. This is a tough one, but I'm going to take Melbourne 1-12. They should get it done at home, but it will be close. The first game on Friday sees the Penrith Panthers host the North Queensland Cowboys at Bluebet Stadium. The Panthers have won the last 3 games against the Cowboys, however the Cows have been on a tear since their Golden Point loss to the Warriors in Round 5 and are looking to make it 7 straight wins. The Panthers made light work of the Roosters at the SCG last week, and while the Cowboys slaughtered an under-strength Storm side in Townsville, beating a full-strength Panthers side at home isn't going to be easy. Unfortunately for North Queensland, Kyle Feldt and Jason Taumalolo are under an injury cloud this week, and despite being full of confidence, I can't quite see them beating Penrith just yet. I'm taking the Panthers 1-12, but wouldn't be surprised if it's actually 13+. And finally on Friday, the Brisbane Broncos and Gold Coast Titans square off at Suncorp. Rather surprisingly, the Titans have won 3 of the last 4 against the Broncos and have won 3 of their last 5 games in Brisbane. Kevy Walters' troops notched up 5 straight last week against the Knights, something the club hasn't done since 2017. The Broncos' attack was as potent as ever, with the likes of Cobbo, Staggs and Oates putting on a show, even with Adam Reynolds sitting on the sidelines. The Gold Coast went down to the Sharks but showed a decent amount of tenacity to claw their way back within 6 points before a Nico Hines drop goal put it out of reach, and unfortunately it's only going to be harder for the Titans this week. Broncos 13+. Super Saturday begins with the Warriors looking to keep their undefeated record in Redcliffe intact against a desperate Newcastle Knights outfit. While the Knights have won 3 of the last 4 against the Warriors, both sides have only won 1 of their past 5 games. The Warriors lost a close game to the Dragons, with successful conversions being the deciding factor. After losing Matt Lodge midweek, the Warriors also lost Aiden Fanua-Blake to a foot injury, which could leave the Warriors very short up front. The Knights looked improved with the return of Dane Gagai and Tyson Frizzell, as well as the club debut of Anthony Milford, but still struggled to get points on the board. Close game for sure, and rather unconfidently, I'm backing the Warriors 1-12. The second game on Saturday is a toughie, as the South Sydney Rabbitohs host the Wests Tigers at Accor Stadium. Souths have won 4 of the past 5, with the Tigers getting the better of the Rabbits already this year. Souths continue to struggle without Latrell and Reynolds, going down to the Raiders last week. The Tigers on the other hand are showing glimpses of brilliance, with Jackson Hastings taking control of the side and leading them around the park. The Tigers are expecting David Nafoluma and Luke Simpkin back this week, and I actually really liked what I saw from the Tigers against the Bulldogs. Obviously a step up in competition this week, but I'm still going to take the Tigers 1-12. And finally on Saturday, the Cronulla Sharks host the Sydney Roosters at PointsBet Stadium. Cronulla have lost 6 straight against the Roosters, with their last win against the Roosters at PointsBet coming back in 2016. The Sharks managed to hold off the Gold Coast despite a late comeback, but they should have pumped them. Will Kennedy is due to return from suspension, which should give Cronulla a big boost. The Roosters went down to the Panthers, which wasn't unexpected. They get a boost this week as Sitili Tupouniua makes his return following a head knock. I think the Roosters continue their winning ways against Cronulla and take it by 1-12 points. The Sunday action starts with the Bulldogs hosting the Dragons at Belmore Sports Ground. It's the Dragons' maiden voyage to Belmore Sports Ground, and they've won 4 of the past 6 against the Dogs. The Dragons failed to outscore the Warriors last week, but still managed to win in a scrappy back and forward game. The Dogs went down to the Tigers after a poor first half, but they bounced back strong in the second, outscoring the Tigers. I don't know why, but I'm leaning towards the Bulldogs this week, with Josh Adokar and Corey Waddell returning. I think they can upset the Dragons to get the win. Bulldogs 1-12. And finally, the Canberra Raiders take on the Parramatta Eels at GIO Stadium. The Raiders somehow have won 3 on the trot and are starting to find some form. Jack Whiten's return, coupled with Josh Papali's 250th game, got them over the line against an average South Sydney side. The Eels, on the other hand, were lucky to get the win last week against the Sea Eagles. I think Manly was the better side and the officiating kept the Eels in the game. This has all the makings of a close game, but I'm going to side with the Eels 1-12. I think the Eels have the better forward pack, halves pairing and fullback, which should get them home against the Raiders. So in summary, I'm taking the Storm and Panthers by 1-12, the Broncos 13+, and the Warriors, Tigers, Roosters, Bulldogs and Eels by 1-12. Let me know in the comments who you're tipping this week and subscribe to never miss a video.